I can't believe I'm saying this. Are glove stocks actually a bit overvalued now? Keep watching to find out. Okay, guys, we do not own any of the stocks mentioned on the slides. And of course, now what we say is financial advice. Hey guys, if you're interested in building a 6 to 7 figure portfolio using the power of stock investing, head over to the comment section or the description to sign up for our free masterclass so that we share with you exactly how we do it. So, gloves have gone up quite a bit over the past month, we can say, or maybe 2 months. And what we are hearing from the institutional people, in this case, Kenanga, good old-fashioned JP Morgan, right? They have a history with gloves. And they're saying that it's time to avoid it, right? A lot of it is because they still cannot really forecast. And of course, if you're in the industry, forecasting is absolutely crucial for institutional investors.
Yes.
But of course, for us, we see things slightly differently. But the basic idea is that I suspect due to average selling prices that these investors in the glove sector, these institutional investors are very wary of glove sector and they tell their clients to do that.
Yes.
But what is your opinion, Jonathan?
I think it is also on the opinion similar to these institutional investors because right now the catalyst is solely from Tan Sri Lim Wee Chai's mouth, which is the industry's average selling price is going up. So it is still in words. It's still not in numbers yet because the numbers will only be delivered in the next few quarters.
Yes.
So but we shall see if what he said is true lah. We shall see in the next few couple of months. Now, why is these institutional investors are very cautious? They're putting a lot of sell ratings on these glove stocks, even though it is going up, right? So number one is that, as rightly what you pointed out about information asymmetry on average selling price, they cannot quantify whether this increase of selling price would be maintained in the next few quarters because there's still an oversupply issue. So right now, they actually kind of project it that the demand and supply will actually start to pivot only in 2024 or in latest by 2026.
And when you say pivot, you mean that the supply will normalize or the demand catches up or even go beyond supply?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so that is where they expect it to happen. So right now, we are still in 2023. So they're still quite bearish on this supply demand side of things. And then, however, JP Morgan actually, they like Corsan a lot. So out of the big four, they just say that Corsan is actually it's the most preferred company. The reason is because of the price to book ratio is actually trading at 0.9 times. So other companies like Top Glove and Hatta Lega, they're actually trading around 1.4 to 1.6 times. So that is actually a pretty interesting analogy from them. I believe also Aberdeen also did tap into yes, exactly. So they actually also invested in Corsan. If you look at the recent announcement on Corsan, right? So we shall find out why they actually liked it in their reports. But okay, so now the big question is that I believe some of the investors also start to invest in glove, right? Because they see the 50% pump in just a few months or even weeks. So is there still more room for growth? Well, to me, I think there might not be because your margin of safety have essentially start to pivot towards more of the risk side because it went up more than 50% in weeks.
Yeah. Not all. Some only about 40-30%.
Yeah. So it's 30%. Top Glove one is massive 67%.
Of course. Corsan will be the lowest.
Yeah. But it's still around 30%.
Sorry?
It's still 30% up. So it is it's not a 10% up. If it's a 10%, it's still okay lah. It means that the investors are not over exaggerating. So this one is I kind of feel like it's a over exaggeration that they see the glove company will make a profit very soon. Yeah.
Yes. Of course, the flip side would be, you said 2024, right? So if it starts to normalize then, and typically markets are about 6 months in advance.
Yeah, forward looking. Yes.
So that's probably why there was the pump to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I think we kind of discussed with our research team, right? So we found out from the fund flow, basically, there's a lot of institution investors are actually nibbling in. Yeah, but then we have some of these who are opposing the idea of buying. So yeah,
of course they all don't have the same opinion, I guess, but a lot, I guess.
Yes, exactly. So that's glove for you. We are in a favor that just to stay at the sideline lah. Yeah, that's the best.
But guys, before we move on, if you're someone looking to level up their stock investing skills and you need a lot more guidance, we do have a one-on-one program called the Mentorship Program. If you're interested, you can apply it in the comment section or the description.
Okay, so that is glove. The next one we have Betamek.
Yeah, so Betamek is the company behind Perdua's, their electronics, internal electronics, such as your stereo systems, things like that.
Yeah, you're the one that is in front of your, beside of your steering. So there is like it's not GPS. I don't know why. There's a term for it. Information system kind of thing. But it's basically like a board over there for you to click your radio and adjust your aircon and everything lah. So they are the one that is assembling all of these components. Yeah. Yes. So if you see in the recent few weeks, it is actually up like 20% from its bottom. I believe this was around like 40 cents each per share. So there's a rally, right? So you want to find out why is this happening. Okay, so I think the first one is that they announced their latest quarterlies, their third quarter for 2023. However, the numbers don't seem like it's growing for profit, but revenue is up a little bit. And actually, there's a reason why it is dropping this much. So they explain that actually there is the USD to MYR's
the
appreciation. Yeah. And then there's also a one-off listing expenses of 2.89 million. However, if let's say you add back, you add back, right? So you exclude all of these one-offs.
Same.
Yeah. So it's about pretty much the same. So which is actually pretty okay lah, I would say. Now, the catalyst on why it start to rise, right, is because actually Perodua announced quite strong sales.
Yes.
So if you notice the number of units of cars sold in January 2023 and January 2022, right, there's actually an increase of about 20-ish%, 20 to 30-ish% of units. Although it's like lower than its preceding month, which is December 2022. But if you compare year on year, it's actually pretty high up. And then if you look at the sales target that Perodua sets, right, they're actually targeting to sell about 314,000 units as opposed to like 282. So that's actually a very positive sign from Perodua. And with these signs, right, I believe Betamek also will indirectly benefit from this because more cars sold means more cars that needs this component to be assembled, which is where Betamek kind of like sits at the value chain. Right. So yeah, I think
it's very simple, right? Like if two things are there driving it. One is of course the number of cars we buy every year. I think I wouldn't say stagnating. It's not growing as fast anymore. For Malaysia specifically.
I think also there's like one of the SST tax exemption or something like that for the cars.
Yeah, so that helps. So, but then the second driver is the fact that you're going to get more complicated stuff in your car with your electronic components. So that helps Betamek as well.
Yes, exactly. So that's Betamek for you.
Alright guys, enjoying the video so far? If the answer is yes, remember, like, comment, subscribe. And as far as comments go, if you don't like the video, do let us know as well. We always take all sorts of feedback as long as they're constructive.
Okay, the last company we have here is a very interesting one. It's Amtel.
They have very, very odd share price movements.
Yes. So
guide us through.
Yeah, okay. So this one actually, I got notice about this from our Telegram group member from FIRL Pro. So he actually mentioned there's a huge dump in share price, like over 30% without any news or anything going on. So that actually got me quite interested. And when I was paying attention to it, right, around like 2:40 p.m. on 14th of April, so I kind of remember the dates and the time also.
Wow.
So it was down 32%, but then 2 hours later, it started to like bounce back up. Like I believe like 10%-ish or 20%. And then now it's only like, in totality, it's only down like 18%.
For those of you who don't know, the stock market closes at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
In fact, if I remember correctly, 4:45 is there's a specific cutoff at 4:45. I can't remember.
Yes, exactly.
But anyway, 5 o'clock is when everything stops.
Yeah, so it's actually a very fishy, like down and suddenly bump up kind of movement. But I mean, let's not speculate anything and let's look at their numbers first. So if you look at their numbers, right, it's actually not really growing as exciting as it looks. I mean, it's like right now it's making about 2 million in profit. Revenue is, I believe, is at all-time high, if I could say. Yeah, so it's not like 10x or maybe even like a 2x growth in terms of bottom line. And also this company, what they do is that they assemble those dash cam. They do the Loca Tech, which is your smart tech on your MyV. So your latest MyV, right, there's actually like a smart tech compartment on your right hand side. Yeah, that's what they do lah. And then they also did those GPS, kind of like a very old, I'll say old model of GPS, but it's still GPS. So that's a very important thing. And then they also assemble this EV DC charger, which is their latest business ventures that they did. But if you look at their business, right, it's like nothing really exciting that can push the share price like go up over 80% in just a few months.
Right.
So my suspicion is that it has nothing to do with the business. And the reason why it dumped is because also the free float rate is around 43.2%.
For those listening who don't understand this, typically the free float rate is around 30%, right?
Yeah.
So when it's quite high at 43%, what it really means is that the retail market, retail ownership is quite high, typically. And which means that the volatility will be quite a bit higher as well.
Yes. So that's about it. If you see like a 20% or
but
even...
To be fair, the other opposite, which is like very illiquid, it will be silent for a long time, and then but when things start to move, it really moves big.
Yeah, and of course you want to like pair them. You want to see whether is it really the business fundamentals driving the share price or whatnot. But in this case, it's not to do with business. And then the last point is basically I'm quite surprised that the Bursa didn't really trigger any UMA. Because typically when I see share price go up like 30%, 40%, right? Usually we see like they will say like, hey, why is your share up? To the management team, right? So in the case for Amtel, they didn't really say much. So that's actually pretty surprising. Maybe it's because on that same day, when it was down 30%, they pushed back up to like down only 18%, so that there's a threshold that they didn't hit. So I'm not sure lah. Yeah, but just to say that Amtel's this share price movement, right, is definitely someone is behind this pump and dump.
Fair enough.
Exactly. So that is Amtel for you. Now, this is the final takeaway on all of these three stocks or industries. So the first one about glove is that if you're planning to invest in this industry, you basically need to know what is this uptrend sustainability. Whether is average selling price going to keep on improving 10%, 20% for every single quarter. If it doesn't really do that right, I mean, safe to say that this share price rally may not be sustainable lah. Yeah, unless we have another like a COVID-19, which maybe we'll be much more prepared than before. Now, the second one is more of the Beta and Amtel. So Beta and Amtel is more on riding the Perodor's growth.
Yes.
So I mean, right now Perodor is kind of reporting good numbers, and their target also has been very ambitious. So most likely Beta will indirectly benefiting from this growth. Amtel, I'm sure also there is somewhat of a catalyst for them. However, the pump in share price, that one is very suspicious to me. Yeah, and the last point, basically, I just say what I want to say. Amtel's sus in share price growth, that one is really, if you're planning to invest in Amtel, I'll say, just be careful with this company. Yeah.
Now, before we end, if you want to, get ahead of the curve and really to learn about how you can speed up your process into finding companies that can fit your kind of investment profiles, look no further than FIRL Pro. FIRL Pro is a program designed for you to speed up the research process because we do the research for you. Right? We don't tell you whether you should buy or sell or hold a stock. We'll tell you what we are doing with the stock, but really just read some of our reports. They are no longer, it won't take you more than 10 or 15 minutes to read them. I always like to say it takes about, one cup of coffee.
Yes.
Right. And these are some of the performance. So far, it's been doing pretty decent. Only 3 stocks are down. We also have a Telegram portfolio, which is more of like a short-term kind of portfolio where we share our thoughts on, how we think certain companies might be moving.
And just a fun fact for you, the Telegram portfolio, these 3 that is in the red, they're all in the green right now. So and we added a few more companies in this Telegram portfolio.
Yes. So you can know the names and you can know like our reasoning, why we included them in the portfolios if you join the program. Now, if you're not too sure, you can always check out a free sample, right? Just go and get a taste on how we do things. And if that suits you, hope to see you in the program. Now, guys, thanks for staying all the way until the end as usual. Thanks for the support. If you're not yet a subscriber, please do click on the subscribe so that whenever new videos pop, you'll know it right away. And I look forward to see you in the next video.